And welcome back to Let's Say the Elder Scrolls Online, episode 25.
Go to my hut and get my healer's sack. Now.
Right away, wise woman.
This proves that Chodala's unfit to lead the Ashlanders. And his claim that he's the Nerevarine, preposterous. That hasn't stopped him and his followers from causing great harm, however. Seren went after him. Please, go help her.
I hate what my brother's become.
Mortal, I would have words with you. Chodala has been revealed as a failed Nerevarine, but that hasn't dissuaded him from his reckless course of action. As long as he wields the staff, he shall be unstoppable.
So what should we do now?
Time is against you, mortal. Even now, Vivek, that pompous usurper, grows increasingly weaker. As much as I deplore him, Vivek cannot fall to Chodala's vile magic. There's another power at work here. One I can't quite put my finger on.
It's not as Zyphreium can do.
Return to Vivek City. Do what you can to aid Vivek, and pay heed to my faithful vessel, Seren. I name her Champion of the Moon and Star. She will play a pivotal role in ending her brother's march toward godhood, if she survives.
Return to Vivek City.
That was exhilarating. That was glorious. Lady Azura's presence filled me with such wonder. She actually spoke through me. I heard everything she said, and I felt her sense of urgency. You need to return to Vivek City immediately.
She said you're the champion, and I will need your help.
And help you I shall. Return to Vivek City, while I track down my brother and his damnable staff. With the Ashlanders against him, he won't have many options. After I locate him, I'll meet you, and we can find a way to break through Chodala's defenses.
Why did the cult have the staff in the first place, though? And she's so happy. Is that a wizard? Am I gonna be stopped at the gate, actually?
I don't like the looks of that sky.
Pull yourself together.
As a god weakens, so too does his city suffer. I know my people grow fearful. Even the Archcanon is distressed. But the energy that remains to me holds the moonlit in the sky.
That's why he has a staff.
For now. So what news does my eyes and ears bring to me?
Oh, and you notice he's no longer in his like weird, like resplendent cross-legged pose anymore at all. But I think what, well, whatever is behind this, gave Chudla the staff so that he just, like, sucks all of Vivek's energy out, and then just crashes the moonlit. We discredited Chudla's intervene, but he escaped with Sunora.
How this upstart Ashlander learned to attune Sotha Seal's tool confounds my understanding. And he dares use my power? Still, your help is appreciated. Every strike and parry takes us one step closer to ending this threat and restoring my vitality.
Due to Lord Vivek's condition, it falls upon us to find a solution. Lord Vivek must conserve his remaining energy, so we need to solve this problem on our own. It all comes back to Chudla. That damned Ashlander's draining the warrior poet's power. We need to stop him and get that damned staff.
Sunora makes Chudla informal. How do we circumvent the staff?
How should I know? That's not a skill the Tribunal teaches. Return to Barrelzar's tower and get Sotha Seal's former apprentice to come up with some kind of countermeasure. I'm sure he knows more than he's told you. I do have one concern, though. You see right through me, Outlander. I have more worries than a Kwama queen has eggs. I'm talking about Chodala's sister. Seren claims to want to help, to want peace, but I don't trust her. Seek out Barrelzar, but be wary of the Ashlander's sister.
What are you talking? But literally Azura.
We need to stop Chodala, and to do that, we need to find a way to overcome the device he's wielding. Find Barrelzar and make sure that crazy mage provides you with something we can use to save Lord Vivek.
So that's how required to save Lord Vivek, yes?
Is the bull sure it can bed the Betty?
What?
No. But by all accounts, we'll be better off with Sunora in our hands and away from Chodala. That won't be possible, however, as long as the Ashlander remains impervious to every attack.
Why does it not trust Seren?
The female Ashlander? Well, if that wasn't enough of a reason, remember that she's also Chodala's sister. Blood sings to blood, as the warrior poet so elegantly put it. Vivek loves this land, and the land loves him in return. He's always had a special bond with Vardenfell. Is it so hard to believe that Red Mountain reflects his suffering? Beyond that,
Yeah, kind of.
also Bardao, the moonlit that floats above us.
Da.
Lord Vivek's intervention stopped the moonlit from crashing into the city. He holds it above us by strength of will. But as he weakens, so too does the power that keeps the rock afloat. If Vivek's energy wanes further, it would spell disaster.
It makes sense for him to just put down the rock for a second. There goes the entire amount of money I've been paid. You notice it looks like a stereotypical, like, Disney mage or whatever? Okay, I hate myself. I had a feeling. I was like, wait, it's free, isn't it? I thought this was like, oh, Final Fantasy, yeah, kind of like 14. In that you can use your, you have to pay gold, but you can go to any aetherite. And there's not really an option otherwise unless you're counting the small ones. So this is kind of like a mix of both small aetherites and the big aetherites. Is he gonna be dead? I don't know, I kind of doubt it, considering on, you know, the fact that this is literally like Balzar's tower, but... I don't get why I glow like that. Okay.
Is someone up there? I could use some help down here.
The fuck?
Hurry, please. I have a natural aversion to Daedra.
I was doing the sick Daedra on him. Hi. What the fuck are you? Ow.
Wipe your feet and come inside.
Don't mind me. As in the cursed coffin, I'd have uttered reader back for another tale of the amazing Narcissus Dren. Of course you are. Why else would we be here right now, holding this exponentially crafted tale? Let's get to it, shall we? Investigating ancient Nord barrels, searching for the glittering garters of Gwendolyn and Gush, or something along those lines, when I stumbled upon an ominous lever that opened an hidden door. Now I wasn't exactly sure what the lever was going to do when I pulled it. Well, I'll leave a lever, lose a lord. It makes a little more sense than the original Aladion. Hidden door stood open when I activated the lever, revealing a secret room that, let's throw our looted, even the most determined Tumars, by the way, tend to be resistant when it comes to pulling out a lever. That's why Narcissus Dren is better than they are. It's all about the bravery. The secret, actually, the Dasher has been revealed. There's so many, now that I actually use DoorDash a lot, notice that there's so many, secret room in a spacious affair, full of funeral finery and relics of forgotten age. Other than that, stood out was a ring of pure iron covered in Nord ruins. It was probably small for Nord's thick fingers. And seemed nearly large enough to fit up on my elven wrist. I slipped the ring into my pack and turned and examined the rest of the chamber. And noticing the massive sarcophagus placed strategically in the center of the room. So carved stone with inlaid jewels and runes that matched those decorating the ring. And it was a final resting place for an important Jarl, king, or even a dragon priest. Mine Master would await inside that stone coffin. I learned from experience never to reach blindly in a honeypot. Said I carefully studied the sarcophagus, looking for any noticeable traps. When a visual inspection failed to reveal anything ordinary, and generally examined the seam of the great stone lid and met the deeper casket. In my handy collection of picks and probing rods, I tested the entire segment of the lid. Nothing. Is that when I finally have the lid to peer inside? Not so fast, the photo reader. One more investigating to make before I open the tempting sarcophagus. Study the intriguing ruins. The lid I swear they date back to at least the Neobardic era of your history. Perhaps even older. Deciphering old ruins is finding one or two bits that you recognize and start your translation with them. And that's what I wrote out like remarkably like the current pictograph for foul or stink. I have a similar a certain spell or perhaps a magic. Fortune and trigger moves send them in the lines of foul spell or stinky magic. Notice the runes that I even need to read them. I proclaim the cigar was printed by an ancient Nord curse of the most odorous kind. However, never ended the great Nazren. There was truly as all sorts of tomb guardians, insidious traps, and hostile rivals. Hey, Nord curse, someone is making confident as me, not worth worrying about, I assure you. If frightened by the curse, I'm dissuaded from pursuing my usual course. As I have on the stony lids, I prepared to slide the heavy stone aside. Something strange and not terribly unpleasant tingle ran up and down my arms. Bright light filled my eyes. When the light faded, I found myself inside a cramped, cold space surrounded by dry stone and total darkness. I went up inside the still-sealed sarcophagus. Perhaps I had dismissed the threat of the curse a tad too soon. I said, hopefully, is there anyone out there? I knew there wasn't. My lackadaisical assistant went outside, lounging around a campfire and probably drinking deeply from the most expensive flask of Flynn. I was a body inside the stone coffin, that would have been awkward. Alright, but the lid wouldn't budge, and Lesser Man would crumble at a moment like this, but Narcissus, no, Lesser Man, quite the opposite. He's better than Lesser Man. When I get into the situation, I always ask myself, what would Narcissus Dren do? Can't do that ring, it's ruined the match with the cigars, that'd be connection. I soon reached my pack, then dug around and found the iron ring. I drew the iron ring out of my whole pack, holding it firmly with determination, drew my purpose. I just a ring to the lid, so then nothing happened. It was a little disappointing. So I slipped the large ring on the second, third finger of my left hand, word open out loud, and sending a syllable over and over as I worked my way through every language. I knew, again, nothing. Now I was beginning to become disheartened. I made, why? Oh, while wrapping my horror upon the cold stone 3 times faster. Why? Suck it up to old Narcissus, rest of the instinct. I don't know if I should while when I cleared our standing inside the surface back in the secret chamber. The moral story, avoid tempting sarcophaguses. Wouldn't it be sarcophagi? Need more trouble than they're worth. Drink mead, sing. We hate orcs. They smell, they stink, they really reek. Why we couldn't find their asses in the snow? We hate orcs. We really do. They had no beards. They had no brains. Couldn't kill a horker with a sword. Drink more, read, repeat. Matthew's gauntlet. In the gauntlets have I witnessed mighty men in mirror contending, fitly offering blood and body, faithful fighting, proving worth and zeal. His best and most devoted show they stop at nothing. Pitted, faithful versus faithful, grandly given all. They must to praise their prince so proudly. None can doubt devotion offered freely. Just as thus the faithful know who's worthy, who shall be the conduit of Boethia. Champion of Boethia is also chosen. Gauntlet given through test of melee. Those who fear the sword, the mace, and dagger lack the heart to show our foes no pity. Moloch Ball will welcome them to Stonefire. Warlock of Boethia wields the magic better than the weaklings of Azura, casting spells to pass the test of Gauntlet. Showing like their faithful their position, all must serve the prince in their own fashion. Blessed Amalexia's fables for evening. So still in the stars. So lay upon a patch of moss and gaze above the stars. By his great love of math, his mind turned to counting. She'll count every star and give each a name, he resolved. So he counted and named until at length his eyes tired and he drifted out of sleep. Came to the sill with a start and looked at the sky. Alas, all the stars vanished. Placing his hand began to weep, for he had learned a harsh lesson. You see, child time cages all tasks. Nixox. Great Nixox, tempted to its herd. None of you shall love the master more than I. Do you see what great burdens I bear? But you are twice the size of lesser Nixox, and grumbled. First, I carry 4 bales of sultress and struggle with 6 and risk great injury. Ah, the mighty Nixox snorted. It's hard work, you fear, not injury. The great beast took up its yoke and strode down the field. He gathered by a fence and watched your mighty brother take up 2 barrels of sultress, 4 barrels and 6, 8, 10, until the last the great Nix was 12 full bales. You see, it said, straining for breath, none of you love the master more than I. Then next the shell began to crack under the weight, and let out a painful bell and collapsed on the bales, crushed to death. Nixox, on the side and shook their heads. Poor fool. He learned too late that there is no mortal strength without limits. To the frozen Gore. A lonely Gore struggled through the ashlands. On a cold, moonless night, the wind was frosty and bitter and chilled the animal to the bone. Alas, it cried, I'll die alone in the cold. And then the Gore caught sight of a faint orange glow in the distance. Campfire, it barked hopefully. It must be. And Gore raced toward the light, its feet growing warmer with every step. Soon the cold gave way to swelling heat. It grew... yeah, and then it died. Soon the cold gave way to sweltering heat. It grew thick and acrid, stirring Gore's nostrils and lungs. But still I heard down barking, must be a campfire, must be. You don't reach your own glow, last was not a campfire, but a great farm, flow of Lorova. So seduced by the ones gave this truth no heed, it sprang into the lava's edge, tripped on a loose stone. Well, that's where we worked the beast and head first in the fire liquid and died. See, child, a fool's thirst for safety carries its own risks. You don't netch. A netch mother once could do a calf, you, my darling. See, no netching and all these nobles worthy of you. The netch's vanity grew. Many worthy bulls approached her with loving intent, and them all saying, do you not know that I'm the most beautiful netch in all these islands? None of you worthy me. Like the netch grew old and weary, alas, I shall die alone, she cried. The netch coupled past her, said a wretched condition. You must be cautious, Sir Calza, Betty said. The child with praise is nothing but harm. Frozen Gore. A lonely Gore struggled through the ashlands. On a cold, moonless night, the wind frosty and bitter and chilled the animal to the bone. Alas, it cried, I'll die here alone. Oh, never mind. I've been duped. What? That's a tiny-ass bath, though. Fucking sweet worlds, of course.
So hard to concentrate and maintain schedules when interruptions constantly occur. Don't they know the great gear never pauses in its rotations? So that was you up there. I appreciate the assistance. Daedric entities can be very unpredictable.
Yeah, Daedra taking about, sir.
Logic has very little place in the behavior of Daedra, my hopeful associate. Studying the fabric of reality does tend to attract unwanted attention. But these creatures appeared just before you entered my tower. I wonder, why have you returned?
I'm looking at those two, but in order to acquire Lord Vivek's divine energy.
Ah, a modification of my master's old experiments, turning a simple tool into a dangerous weapon. Ingenious! Evil, yes, but also quite brilliant. A tonal inverter should counter it. Uses sound waves to temporarily disrupt the flow of energy.
Don't worry, this one can use, yes?
No, of course not. I just invented it. I need proper components to build such a device. My hirelings scour the land for materials all the time. Here's a list. Head out the back door and ask them to direct you to these common dwarven components.
Have I any silings of yours?
Hirelings? Yes, they worked for me, before they quit, ungrateful netches. Still, I paid them well before the pistons slipped their alignments. They should know where to find the components. Last I heard, Snorfen and the others were in Molagmar.
They do return to trouble you, yes?
The situation is wound dangerously tight, but I believe the gears revolve around you. Once you leave, I should be perfectly safe. Or at least as safe as I ever am in the midst of all these experiments. You, however, Stay vigilant, my friend.
Learn more about these components you need to find, yes?
I could, but I won't pour 5-year-old Flynn into a cracked decanter. No offense. Suffice it to say, they're fairly common as far as Dwemer components go. Use the list and talk to my former hirelings. I'll build the device the moment you return.
Uh-huh. Obviously, a horse isn't going to be able to get through the... Okay. I don't know if he opens his mouth or not. You're for another quest. Alright, many hours soon I study the planes of approach. Like the Maria for the inner who enters with self-serving agenda. Let's start with an unbiased concrete example works best as an introduction, studying through fragments actually leads to the broader topic of the planes. Seeing shooting star that secures on a piece of a serious spirit plane and source of magic, Sergeant Falstanerin. He does materials, meteoric iron, and glass may be found after such an event. The magic potential both extraordinary and the sex that focuses on rare meteoric glass, and including its uses throughout history and its various manifestations. The Aelids, Elzarud Citadel during until only first Aelid, extensive use of the sky stones with the advanced same magical arts that created blue Vulcan Varla stones to harness the power of starlight from the Ethereus and store magic power and chain items to provide unending light. You know, destruction cells of the automated defense. The series of producing stellar vessels has been lost. The Aelids were able to create them and consider them by replicating enchanting meteoric glass. So the new Welkin of Varla stones, even Bruce uncharged meteoric glass, have failed. Only the original stone crumbles use still some experimentation, pursuing research and assisting dangerous expeditions into alien ruins. The Marmalonda and Kulanda stones, golden in color, similar to blue alien fragments. Product or discovery the high elves, they are more frequently found in Somerset Isles. The stones, which can be recharged, can be tapped by spellcasters towards magic repulsion. Store charge or charges to chain items. Kulanda stones provide a bright golden light, but they can trigger magical effects, store magica, but are always stored upon use or depletion. Mary Quincy Frastus, remotely enamored of elven culture that the Almighty have unlocked and improved upon the seas of aliens, suggested that their equivalent Milena and Colin stones of former might grow wheat. One reason the theory is that though through tinkering with alien stones, mere glass, a more reliable method of researching was discovered. And another type of theory of fragment, insulating shards as they fall in doing specific lunar ions. To meet the reforming into prison by someone in the process looking for the power unlocked by the merger to a nearby being. Like other skystones, they're relatively rare and it's difficult to obtain specimen from the destination. When in the heavens, they are often found on the ground, brought there by dozens of the depths to find their light-emitting properties useful. Enough study and experimentation, it was my hope that the keys to producing these will be covered, or in sending full understood planes are probably achieved. Look fancy.
Damned vampires. I'll find a way to make them pay for what they did to my brother. I swear it on the tribunal and any Daedra willing enough to listen. What do you want? Can't you leave a person to her anger and her grief? He did he? Let me see that list. Well, the crazy old maid always said there were no coincidences. The inversion conduit. I saw one in the Lone Dais, right before I barely escaped from those damned vampires.
Who's you about those damned vampires?
Eager to become cattle for the bloodsuckers? The Burn clan killed my brother. Damn their eyes. The item you seek was in the manufactory, but you'll need a control rod to get a dwarven spider to unlock it for you.
How boring, bro, also.
Because the mage wanted to send me to the far side of Vardenfell, and I need to remain here. I'm not going anywhere until I make the Burn clan pay for what it did to my brother. If you can kill some of the bastards, that'll be a start.
Life's an adventure. Run as fast as you dare. Sing, imagine the pleasure.
I like that way more than Ragnar the Red. I'll tell you that much. Armiger marching song. Step light, stride far, O ye boying armigers. To glory, day, and triumphant nights. March on to your bloody fight. Sing proud, sun roars. O ye boying armigers. Raise voice and courageous cheers. Give those seasoned cause for fears. Sentinels, spoil wars. O ye boying armigers. Best warriors by the score. Take a bow and a best a dozen more. Some bones, some scars. O ye boying armigers. Wear the badge of those who lead. A few new nicks as proof of deeds. And tall spoil wars, ye boying armigers. Warriors by the score, take a bow and beat a best a dozen more. To the walking ways. 6 of the walking ways, enigma enemy teacher. Beget by the precursor gods, come we now their creatures. Embody splendor in your name and wisdom in your features. Sword I mean the night, by the word I mean the dead, by the sword I mean a side, by the word I mean the end. 6 of the Guardians, C4 and 3 incarnate. Here test your hero's ways, show that you can learn it. The truest works you shall behold are those made by the silent. By the sword I mean the night, by the word I mean the dead, by the sword I mean a side, by the word I mean the end. Song of the word. As a hero based on meat, don't let the sophist fool you. Fear not upon the walking way, just let history rule you. In their own world the men have laws, but only if they're written. The wise can write them different rules by the word they're smitten. Use no words for apologies. If you seek absolution, action is a walking away, then words are no solution. Wise avoid apology when ravers must be beaten, so sing not with dusty tongue, no words is true till eaten. Excuse me? What? Hi.
If you're another pilgrim looking for charity, I suggest you move along. I have neither the time to waste nor the gold to spare. I'm currently between employment, and my own funds have become dangerously depleted.
Rosen, could you check you need to find an item in this?
Let me see that. What's that crazy mage need this time? I suppose you could find a manual clockwork shaft in the Nichuleft ruins. But I'd avoid that place if I were you. If the roof doesn't collapse, the constructs will rip you apart.
Hey, it's to build something important, so could you tell you how to find the manual things?
If you insist. Deep in the ruins churns a big machine. When I was there, it sputtered and vibrated, collapsing parts of the ceiling. Lava and rock fell everywhere. You need to get past that and some nasty constructs to retrieve the item.
And not work for Bowser anymore.
That mage is a menace. Oh, he always paid well, but the places he asked me to go, each was more dangerous than the last. And if I had to hear about the Great Gear one more time... For my own health and sanity, I had to break ties with Barrelzar.
The Kumantung. Here, the Kumantung. It's the name whispered in the dark light as blood pools in the cobblestones, a signature on the ransom note left in the neighbor's bed. A shadow, a curse, a boil upon the arse of our society, and though I'm not proud to admit it, it's part of my past. I'm writing this for those of you who aren't in the rights of the law. I'm writing this for the ones who venture the moral path, those that walk the thin line between wrong and right. The ones with empty bellies and empty coffers who might see the Kumantung as a valuable option. To you, I say keep reading. The Kumantung has stability, a steady stream income is a hard thing to turn down, they got a structure to boot. Well, you know the possibility of glory of command and rising to the ranks? Oh, sure, I do this far from illegal, but if you're leaning in that direction, wouldn't you rather be in good company? How much should we talking before I signed right up? And at first, life was good. The rich flatheads who had lorded above me all my life, my pleasure. There are a few break-ins, nothing I wasn't used to. And sure, we talked big, starting with Outlanders of taking Runfield back for the Dark Ages, but I'll be honest, nothing made me hear what I was doing. Nothing that is until some more games seemed to get a little uppity. Oh, it was the talk of the town. Some scaled and why the gal to start up her own shop. His sister with it to boot. She was taking away good business from Dark Elves. That's what she was doing, taking away gold from her mothers and sisters. So we did what the Commandant made her pay. It was easy, yeah, her shop was doing well, but she was still an Argonian. I don't think we saw a single guard as we slipped in her house. In that part of the town, we tied her up, gagged her before she had a chance to drive her out, laughing like it was some big joke. That's too much to drink. I thought we were just gonna scare her set her straight. That she couldn't think herself better. Sober up when the beings began. Slapped her face with that quickly turned punches kicking. How she could take it, how her gritty skin was so thick no one would ever see the bruises. Instantly the mire muffled cries along with her laughter. The meaning became more intense as blood started dribbling from her gagged mouth. Returning Vias, truly posed to give my line of work. Something about tying up this old granny being a bloody kicking her as she fell to the floor. I grew tired as I watched motionless. No one seemed to notice my lack of enthusiasm. Right at the end of the righteous justice they doled out. A dagger. I made the gadget. You know it's pretty hard. So without fingers, suddenly I was wide awake. I can tell you I stopped them, said something clever, did something brave, but the truth I walked out. From that telling the life, not with my head held high, but broken, defeated. Poor Gooning's eyes filled with terror. My own yet so like, I don't know if they went through with it. Fingernails beggar somewhere who sees my face in nightmares. I never try to find out. So next time you think I'm on tongue of the glam and the gold, you think how easy it is for your Kruger morals to slip away entirely. Big talk and some drains can lead you down a darker path than you ever realize you're capable of. Is there nothing to me to just join along?
I feel like such a puny snowback, hiding here in Molag Mar. But you don't want to hear about my troubles. What can this broken Nord do for you?
So I want to talk to you. You said you could help Zyphreium find the names on this.
Barrelzar. He's the reason I'm a shattered man, doomed to become a cowering sheep like the rest of these pilgrims. All right, let me see that. Arkanthung Stordoms. You can find a Sonance generator there, after you deal with the steam trap. The cursed contraption. I almost had it figured out when a ghost floated up to me. No problem, I think. But then it enters a Centurion. Ghost machines. No sane Nord can fight ghost machines. I dropped my notes and ran as fast as I could.
Well, it's in Arkanthonach Sturdrums because of a few ghosts.
Not just ghosts. Ghosts that possess dwarven machines. I'm through working for that crazy old mage and his clockwork monstrosities. But if you want to get past the steam trap, find my notes and follow the directions.
Let's go now. Oh boy, it's... Yep, it's in 3 different locations. That was probably a good time to end it though, and also because my food's almost here, so I'm just going go back into that little town, or whatever you want to call this. It's more like an outpost than anything. Actually, no, this is literally just an inn, and that's it. Anyway, so, enjoy seeing you know what to do. See ya.